Hello there, everybody. This is No Name 117 Spore, and I am here with Imperial Waffle. Say hello.
Howdy.
With some From the Depths as we start to the game here. Start the multiplayer build session. So, the goal here is why do I have why do I not have these up? I should have these up. I can do the introduction as per normal. Man, I am not moving around well. I wait, hold on.
Oh,
What? Um,
that's the game crashed.
oh, okay. I'll reload the game and try to get in. I was having like weird issues with movement
Mm,
there. Oh, hello,
yeah.
Sampa. Yeah, I'm on YouTube now. Anyway, okay, we'll wait for you to get back in. While we're
Thank
waiting,
you.
attention everyone, we're experiencing
All right.
technical difficulties. Okay, so as this is going on, I need to hop back into OBS. I have like multiple things open on my other monitor and not enough room to do stuff. So, I'm going to just quickly
Oop.
put up the ship I'm building there. That is New Brunswick.
Wow. Well, movement.
Yeah. Press tab and
Oh, there we go.
yep.
Yep. All right. Splendid. So, do you want to go over the plans for New Brunswick, or?
Yes. I put New Brunswick up. There's the actual bigger plans. She is a Rule the Waves 2 vessel. We will be building her in this game. Veteran Dread. Yeah. Um, she is 65,000 tons. Was originally built in British yards and refitted in British yards. Um, Her armor scheme is what was called Universal Narrow Belt, which is basically the all or nothing equivalent of sloped deck. Um,
Really going for peak efficiency, eh?
yeah.
Hey, I mean, I don't blame you. Armor's heavy. Anyway, I'm gonna start one of the 37-meter wide version, just so we can get a
Well,
sense
actually,
for how wide the hull is. Unless you already have some.
I actually have something. Oh, what is the dinosaur thing? Why is there a dinosaur hopping on screen? Oh, Sampa just subscribed. Thank you for the subscription. YouTube subscription. I was like, what is this going on? I haven't got my YouTube stuff set up, so I guess that's something there. Alert box
Yeah.
has been moved up. I was like, what the hell's going on? Oh, right, yeah. So yeah. 12-inch belt, 12-inch belt extended, 6-inch deck, 0-inch deck extended, 9-inch conning tower, 18.5-inch turret front, 7-inch turret tops, and 2-inch secondaries. Her secondary guns are um, double 5-inch dual-purpose guns. These would be of the British model. Think of what's on the KGVs. She has 15 light anti-aircraft guns, 72 medium anti-aircraft guns, and 4 anti-aircraft directors, as well as 6 torpedo tubes, 3 to either side, and 9 16-inch guns, 120 rounds per gun, with electro-optical directors, 2 of them. She's equipped with 4 anti-aircraft directors as well, and capable of 29 knots with a PDS of 4. Um, Her belt coverage is narrow, so I think that would be, yeah, that would be something where it would just basically be, slope deck all or nothing, with the slope deck at the front technically not having any armor. Um, yeah. She would also be equipped with 2 aircraft and what else? We think that I think that the dimensions are probably, I think she's either 35 or 37 meters wide,
Yeah.
and then about I like probably about like just shy of 270 if she's 37 meters wide, like maybe
Yeah.
268, 265, something
Hmm.
like that. And if
Yeah.
she's 35 meters wide, then I think she's actually longer than
Yeah.
270, probably going about closer to 280, something like
Yeah.
about that
I'm
size.
I'm just gonna make a couple of cubes just so we
Yeah.
can get a sense of the scale, and then you can decide from there which one you like more size wise.
Yeah.
The one to the left is the 37 wide.
Okay, let me get this going quickly first. So the thing is, all my ships are painted in a standard color scheme. So what I have here is a little starter raft. Although I do have to extend it so it's like 30 blocks and doesn't despawn.
Okay, so remind me that.
I'm going
So
to
this is a
save this
35, so this
as
should be the
maybe
37.
um all right.
And then 37 to 68.
All right.
It's already nearly there.
Okay, so you're just why didn't you mirror
Um,
it?
I'm built different.
I'm excited for the upcoming Ruleway 3. I might also. All right. Yesterday I was supposed to contact William about uh something. I might try to make some designs for the game, but I forgot to do that yesterday,
Ooh,
so might be today.
sounds like fun. You should definitely look into that.
Yeah. Ooh. But
So on your
okay, so we got
yeah, so the one that I'm currently standing on is the 37-meter wide
yep.
variety. She is 268 meters long. The one on the left, the one I'm not standing on, is 35 meters wide and 278 meters long.
Yeah.
Pick your poison, really. I personally think that the 37
I
would
think you're
be
right.
better.
I think you're right. I'm
But
looking at the 37. That looks more like what I'd expect.
mm-hmm. All right,
I think we're going with 37 meters wide.
sounds good. Let me just get rid of this thing then.
Yeah. Anyway,
Awesome.
over here on this platform, I have where I am starting the actual boat itself, or boat herself. That's not
Ooh,
knowledgeable.
interesting. Look at him go. Okay,
Okay, so I'm trying to think. 'Cause I did send you a bunch of the prefabs, and all my ships
you did.
except for Manitoba, all of them are actually built with a standard set of
Prefabs.
fuel engine I have. Did I send that or no?
I don't believe you sent that, but if you have the prefab, it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, it'd be easy to put in. Um, just trying to think. One, you know, let me make this 37 wide right now. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 17, 19, 23, 25, 27, 5, 37. Okay, so that would be how wide she is.
Yep,
Um,
pretty wide. Do you want me to kind of extend this out to where
uh,
it's
yeah,
the?
extend it out both forward and backward.
Yep.
The lead,
Oop.
it has a lead keel.
Yep.
It
I
should
I
have about
noticed.
11 meters of drought. So,
And I believe this is wait, what is this? Is color one? All right.
yep. 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. All right, so that would be. This is about the width of an underwater hull section on her.
So this is the 37-meter variety, so it should be about 268. Almost there. Excellent. Oh, we're overshot. And perfect. So this should be about how long she is. Just cut some off, so
Okay, I
not.
think that is a good cross-sectional profile right there. Oh, did you just extend it forward or?
I only extended forward. I'm doing it the other way now.
Okay, cool. I'm making sure you're getting both directions. Um,
Yeah.
all right, so I think that is a reasonable cross-sectional profile for her midships. Hull-wise, she is going to, I should point out, she's going to resemble kind of a, you know, a KGV or a Lion, not a K, yeah, like a KGV, a Lion,
Vanguard.
yeah, HMS Vanguard. Um, you know, the later British battleships,
Mhm.
most directly comparable things. I should probably make sure to have the King George V references up in my other monitor.
The other monitor.
I only have two monitors, so
Hmm. Okay.
I'm kind of juggling the other monitor right now
Right.
between YouTube chat and this.
Fair enough.
Um,
Oof.
okay, you know what? I can hide I can hide Discord and just have OBS up. That'll work. Make OBS smaller. There we go. Okay.
Sorry.
268 wide. I think I have to delete some of these sections here.
Fine. I can go start up on the bow if you'd like.
Yeah. I'm just deleting some of these aft sections because I know I'm gonna have to taper it. So, you know, I don't want her to wind up having a bad hull shape.
Fair.
I'm just
So
get rid of everything
rock
like here.
of rock about 11 meters, right? Yeah. No, that's 10. No, 11.
No, I'm just gonna do a quick reactivate connection checks. There we go. I think I can leave these sections in place. I can
So
definitely.
this would be the water line. So how high up do you want the freeboard? What's the plan with that?
Well, I think the first thing to do is just I usually wind up building the total underwater hull section first, and
Okay.
then after that I do freeboard.
Okay.
Also
Actually,
color 2 will be what's on top of all this. So actually we should probably put color 2 on right, or another layer on right now.
let's see. Hmm.
Oh, I am going to get rid of another two sections of this. I might need to replace them at some point. But I mean, I want her to be a little curvy, so.
Yep.
Oh, you've fallen off the platform. Activate connection checks and deactivate connection checks.
Oh, there I am. Yeah, it's definitely not the way I usually make my ships. I usually start with an outline and then work like that.
Yeah, I've developed this method from
Fair enough.
a lot of other building.
Fair enough, man.
All right, so then my thought is, okay, so she's roughly 268 meters long. I'm okay if she shrinks or grows by a couple of meters. That's like perfectly okay. Just let me find the height of this again. That would be right there.
Hmm.
I'm starting work on the stern. So
Hmm.
yeah, usually the first step I do is define the amidships cross section. Then I
Yeah.
work on the basically the bow shape and the stern shape.
Yeah. Trying to be similar enough to what you. The one I looked at specifically before this was Manitoba,
Yeah.
but I want to try making it.
Yeah. I think this ship would have a little bit of a straighter bow, or maybe not perfectly straight, just very slightly sloped, like a 4 meter thing with a not like a proper forward bulge thing they call bulbous bow,
Yeah, an
but
inline
like kind
bulbous
of a
bow.
sideways one, kind of a sideways bulbous bow.
Mhm. Similar to what would be on Manitoba, because I believe she is something resembling
I
that as
think
well.
so. Yeah,
All right, fair
similar to
enough.
that. Hull form is not quite Manitoba. Hull form is gonna be a little
Right,
different than Manitoba, but
of
yeah,
course, a little more. Well, it's a 65,000-ton battleship, and there's only so many ways you can really make it look, huh?
yeah.
Let me just spawn her in again, just so I can have her in the background. I like Manitoba. She looks nice.
Yeah.
She's a nice ship.
At some point, I'm gonna have to do another live stream where I update her, but I'm waiting for person I collab built Manitoba with to
Ah,
get back online again.
Manitoba's another collab. Interesting. So let's see. Interesting.
Okay. Part of me wants to bring up Sketchfab, and then part of me is concerned with how my stream is going to handle that. I'm going to bring up Sketchfab anyway and look up.
Oh.
I'm just going to type in Battleship
Hmm.
and try to see if
Try something like this.
someone has a
Probably gonna
King
have to do
George.
some kind of mimicry work, something here, just to make it not so jarring. But well.
I'm going to see if I can find HMS Vanguard on Sketchfab while I am here. Um, I've typed in the word Vanguard. It is not turning up anything. Well, I mean, it's turning up stuff. It's not turning up anything relevant. Um,
Yeah.
let's try King George V. Yeah, okay, yeah, somebody has a Sketchfab model. I'm
Hmm.
not gonna show it. Oh, hey, there's a lion on there.
That's fun. Let me just remove that. So I can...
Okay. So I don't want to have many of these models loaded, so I've only got Lion and Duke of York loaded, and I think these are World of Warships models, which means I don't have to have World of Warships open right now. Because I don't want to have World of Warships or War Thunder or something open.
So this is interesting. It's an interesting case for sure.
Alright, so I have two ways to make the stern. So Lion's stern is it I think that's transom. That's the term. Lion has a
Mhm.
transom stern, well, like some like Duke of York doesn't. Although there are some depictions of the Lion class which have them without the transom stern.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
do I want to do a
It
transom
really,
stern or not?
well, uh, in the time period that we're building. What do you think Canada would pick?
That's a good question.
Also, let me
'Cause
just. Yeah.
she is these ships are completed in I think like what 1941.
Okay, so let's see.
That's like, but tech is very slightly behind. But then battleship
Mhm.
tech would be ahead because there's no Washington Naval Treaty.
Mhm.
Oh god, that places it like right on the border. I could literally like flip a coin.
I mean, maybe you should let chat decide.
Hey chat, here, let's do it. Um, I can
People
create a
love the
poll.
interaction.
Um, let me Okay,
I'm
what's
telling
the
you,
other
man.
type of stern? Um, all right, we have a poll. What sort of stern will she have?
Yeah. I mean, hey, you got to get those that viewer interaction up, right?
Yep.
Uh, dear.
Maybe I
Hmm.
can. Part of me is like maybe I can go work on the bow in the meantime, and the part of me is like no. We have one vote for transom. So transom is basically, just to describe this, transom is basically where this cuts off hard. So a transom stern, the back end of the transom stern would look something like something kind of like this, roughly. Whereas the normal stern is, you know,
More
hard.
rounded.
Yeah, more rounded. You know, kind of what I
Hmm.
had, like
Let me look up
more
Vanguard,
like
actually. I
this.
want to see how her bow does it. Oh, God. That's unfortunate, isn't it? Christ. Here we go. Interesting. Okay, so we're gonna do this instead, because I like this better.
Okay, let me well, they're deciding on that. Let me actually work on a part a little deeper in the stern. Actually, not lead
Hmm.
beam there actually.
Hmm.
And now
I feel like I should include.
Make sure that my computer is not struggling. My computer is not struggling. Good.
Hmm.
Not yet, at
So
least.
while hmm. So this is definitely very interesting kerfuffle here because Vanguard does not have a bulbous bow of any kind. But on the other hand, you do say you kind of wanted a one. So
Yeah.
bit of a puzzle here for sure.
Second
Hmm.
misfit stern for bow. Ah, it happens to the best of us. Getting our ship backwards.
Yeah. Ship happens.
Yeah, ship happens. Okay, now I'm
Hmm.
trying. There's a certain stern creation technique I'm trying to remember right now. Because I didn't do
Hmm.
this on my earlier ships. I started doing this more recently. It's really
Hmm.
effective for making them look good, and I'm trying to remember how to do it. I know there's an inverted piece involved,
Well, I
so
mean, if you
like one of
if
these
you know
guys.
what ship of yours involves it, you can probably just
I don't want to
look
spawn in too many ships though. Is the issue?
fair, fair.
A certain transom bow would suck.
Transom
Just
bow.
cut off the bow.
The
Yes.
ascended strategy. Transom bow.
Yes, just flat bow, just going straight
Hmm.
in. Yes, beautiful.
Hmm.
We'll only use
Not really
transom
a
bow if you have.
fan of this.
I think the drawing doesn't. I think the drawing actually like doesn't have a transom stern, but like it would be small enough that it would not make the difference, not make much of a difference.
You
I
know, hmm.
I
Hmm.
think I involve.
You know, Vanguard be damned. We're just doing this the way as God intended.
Oh yeah, it is this. So if I do this, but then stretch this, that becomes valid, and then I can do something. Uh, the other one. Yeah, okay, that was the build technique I was thinking of right there. Um, Although I'm not sure that this here specifically works. Um, I'd probably have to do like. There's gotta be another one. Was like a slope trim instead?
Hmm. Interesting.
There's a way to do this. I'm gonna figure that out right now. We'll just to keep the poll going slightly longer. Let's
Hmm.
do 3 meter. Let's see if I can get this to work with 3 meter.
So what I want to know, what is up with
That'd be
this?
this piece,
Interesting.
and then
So leave that
meters
up till there. Okay.
there.
So why don't we, instead of doing that like some kind of idiot, do
A
this?
1 meter to 3 meter.
But then, but you see, therein lies the issue, isn't it?
2 meter. That's
Unless
how I
I,
do it. Out. Out. Have it. Okay. That's how we're gonna build this.
Oops.
Gonna move.
Actually, I keep forgetting to put mirror mode on. It's kind of annoying.
Oh yeah, you gotta do that.
Um,
How,
hmm.
also, the armor scheme on this ship is going to be interesting,
Scuff.
I will say. Scuff. Yeah, scuffed is the right word.
Hmm.
Okay, so I think at this point I'm gonna end the poll. I've had 4 votes on it. Transom has clearly won, so we're gonna do a transom stern.
I love democracy. I'm working away up here, and I think it's going for sure. It's going.
So I think this is roughly the best
Well,
approximation of the start of the transom stern. Um,
that
right,
feels a
if I
little
look at
awkward though. Can I do it better? I think so.
line's a little more rounded, so I want this to be more rounded. So what that would mean is I need inverted that over there, and then that right there. You'd have something like this.
Now, alternatively, I could just kind of don't mind the massacre going on at the front right now. It's a work in progress.
Woven ships and up armored ships. Crap. Placement Bs. I mean, if you're in a naval treaty, it's usually best to not scrap any ships in Rule the Waves 2. Or Rule the that's 2. If I do that as a slope 4 meter, oh yeah, this is solvable. There we go. I think I will flatten this out right around where the rudder is. Just for a couple of blocks. Do that beam there. Actually, you know what? Oh. Ready. I'm gonna do a little bit of a beam staggering here. Just to drag this out for longer. Okay, that looks way better. And then I'll just adjust the slope of this. Instead of 2 meter, it'll be a 3 meter slope.
Right.
Okay, I'm seeing how that kind of looks. I don't know, maybe I do like a slightly less bulb on that. Like, almost have to go for half.
I can trim one off on the outside if you'd like.
Yeah.
Like that. That's
Yeah,
good.
I think that's good.
So really, my main concern is that without, it's not really gonna do. But I mean, it looks fine as is. I think
Yeah.
it's a bit scuffed, but what isn't these days,
Yeah,
right?
it's like it's subtle. It's very subtle. There's not a it's yeah.
He's beginning to believe, to learn, to evolve. Hmm.
Just in case we crash, I am saving her.
Right. Always a good idea. Hmm.
So issue is right here. Probably wind up having it to the 3 meter, which is going to be annoying because I am going to have to color or repaint the top of that. There are ways to do that.
Where is about the middle of the shipment? So the middle of the ship is
That'll be
about here.
that'll be an issue I work out later. Oh yeah, I should mention paint for the hull is color 3. So like the above water hull, color 3.
Got it.
Deck is color 4 and superstructure is color 5.
All right, got it.
Yep. 6. Oh god. There's like 3 blacks. There's 6, 9, and 4. Well, okay, there's 4 blacks. There's 2, 6, 9, and 14. 14 is outer smokestacks. 9 is like inside smokestacks, holes and stuff. I completely forget what 6 is for. I think 6 at one point was outer smokestacks, and then I changed it. And 6 is just kind of like an extraneous color only on some of my older vessels at this point. 7 and 8 are for like decals which cannot have a camo pattern applied to them, but sometimes 5 use instead. 10 will be used for the props. And outside of that, I don't think you have to really concern yourself with any color.
Fair enough.
I think 26 you'd use for glass, and that's it.
All right. Good to know.
Okay, so I've already got a little bit of the aft stern started.
And the bow is it's going.
Okay.
It is going.
So what I should probably do is figure out how the hell the rest is. That will get smoothed out later. Well, part of me wants to. No, I need to stretch it out to the side, which is a problem. I think what I would need, I would effectively this and then. You know what? Here, why and then this will get filled in with decos, and it'll look all pretty and nice. That's how my ships are kind of built.
Yep.
Actually, what I'm gonna try to do now is I'm going to start on her water line.
All right. Fair enough.
Although parts of this are gonna be really annoying to deco in the end.
Indeed. Yeah, we can use triangles here. Actually, if I just move that back, would probably look a lot better, huh? Yeah.
I'm gonna guess technically that slope is that slope's gonna. Okay, here's my thought: is I just place this down. Sorry, um, until I'm at the side. Okay, so there we go. Now we're aligned, and I have built this one block too low. Um,
Happens.
all right, so time for me to cut off her stern.
Unfortunate. I know she looks scuffed right now, but I love her already.
Oh, what blocks will fall off Manitoba if connection rules are reapplied?
I don't know. Hmm. Well, issue there is the kill I get. Hang on, no, we have transitions for this, don't we?
Yeah,
Yeah, we do.
transitions are great.
Indeed. Just gotta figure out how to use them. Oh, I like this. Okay. This took a unexpected but interesting direction.
Actually, I need to get her to be 68 meters long again. There we go. Now she's 68 meters long again. Alright, so now that needs to be placed one block higher, so there. Alright, now she's 269. I might need you to undo that. Unless you want to... No, I'll just leave that 269th block. Screw it. She's 269 meters long now.
Alright.
Because I accidentally added a block to the stern.
Fair. You may also need to make her a little longer, just because if we were assuming length at waterline, then it's fine, but...
I was assuming length at waterline, yeah.
Alright. Splendid stuff. Oh, whoops. There we go. So remind myself, there is a water line there. Hmm.
Okay.
But that is the most
think that's
dangerous
looking
game, isn't it? And also, how would that be different than just...
bad.
Oh.
Okay, I have to get rid of... Okay, so what I'm going to start by doing is I'm going to start by placing a bunch of slopes down here until we're perfectly aligned. So this starts as a 4 meter, basically just a 4 meter slope until it's in line with the two sides here. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to start taking away some of these 4 meters and just moving them back. But start earlier. So we get a more gradual kind of sloping. There's valid.
Hmm.
4, 2.
So, while we're just kind of idly building, maybe you want to tell us a little bit about New Brunswick's service history?
8. 2, 7, 8. Once I'm done counting,
Fair enough.
maybe I should have made her only 268 long, because this is gonna get weird. Alright, so I am gonna need to cut off her stern again.
It happens.
Oh, that makes this insanely difficult. You know what, I'll ignore the problem and implement another fix. So New Brunswick. She and her sister ship Appalachian would have entered service in, 1940, 1941-ish. I designed them because I did not like how, Slash, the guy who was doing the co-op campaign, designed the Manitobas, where they basically just didn't have any spare weight and didn't have some of the vital functions of a... As a battleship, there was some stuff they were missing, like, 100 rounds of ammo count for for a fast battleship is not great. They had speed engines. The gun quality was good, but I was kind of looking at them and thinking this is a compromise design. They were also all or nothing, pretty well armored for all or nothing. I'll give them that. And that's kind of how the New Brunswick design came about. And the meta being discussed at that time was Universal Narrow Belt on the Rulers 2 server. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to try that out with the new ship. Build something which is, kind of abiding by the current meta.
Yeah.
There we go, that works. It's a pretty nice stern curve.
Hmm.
So that's how New Brunswick came to be. These ships, both New Brunswick and Appalachian, would see service in 2 wars. So far, technically the campaign was ended at the very start of its 3rd war with these ships. So technically they would have seen 3 wars, but I think the canon ending right now is after the U.S.-Canadian War, and not the second, and not the second U.S.-Canadian War. So these ships at the start of the war would have been main battle line ships, given that the following Iceland-class battlecruisers were primarily designated to escort carriers.
Oh, right. Iceland. I forgot you made a class of battle cruisers named Iceland. That's funny.
Yeah, and Iceland became a Canadian colony
Yeah,
for those
I
two.
remember
So
you telling me that.
yep. So that and it got to the point where it's like, you know what, Iceland had helped us out so much during multiple wars that I actually named a ship after the colony, or after it, and had another one named Reykjavik after the
Capital of
city.
Iceland. No.
Okay, that's kind of the top section of stern done. I will say that bow at the waterline is like very narrow. You might want to have it
Yeah,
extend out a little more quickly than that.
yeah.
Um, Try to work on like a rough kind of top shape. Although I think the bow would be start slightly narrow and then.
So the thing is, right? It's pretty narrow because this is the water line. So it needs to be slim enough to cut through.
Yeah, and then
And
kind of
obviously,
extend out.
once it gets above, then it'll fan out.
Okay, I think you're probably at the point where you want to start fanning out right now.
Yeah.
And then you fan out a little bit and then you go back to the kind of gradual slope.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so uh, I think in the first war, the Canadian-German War, the New Brunswicks, although they were used, did wind up escorting the carriers more, so they weren't at the front line of combat as much, and didn't quite see as much service. In the second war, at the start, they were supposed to, because the 2 Icelands were supposed to escort the carriers. The problem is the second Iceland got sunk in like the first battle of the war. So then there was 1 New Brunswick confined to that role. When Slash had control, he was playing on captain's mode, so he could actually send these ships in to do fighting even in that position, although they'd get there later. When I was in control, I was on rear admirals, which means I can't do that.
Mm.
So that's kind of what. So what kind of happened is one of the New Brunswicks kept being confined to escort carriers, so they weren't. So that one wasn't like heavily used in combat. The other one was, or the other one was for a time. I know that Appalachian, the second of the New Brunswicks, was actually uh fairly late to the third Battle of Nova Scotia, kind of like that was the biggest battle of the war, definitely. Or the most important battle of the war, definitely. and
What happened at the Battle of Nova Scotia?
third battle, or I guess technically third attempted invasion of Nova Scotia. Um, brutal knife fighting night action.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, that's one trial by fire,
yeah.
which may or may not be the understatement of the century, but
Yeah. I do know Appalachian made it out. I mean, neither of them were sunk during the war, so that was good. Appalachian was a fairly late arrival to try to relieve the rest of the battle line, which had already been heavily engaged. Unfortunately, like one Manitoba wasn't present for that battle, and that kind of hurt. And another one had her rudder knocked out and had to leave the battle early on. Or captain just decided to leave the battle early on, even when they got the rudder repaired, which I'm, a little pissed at. Like,
well, I mean,
hey,
when you think about it, right? Is it better to withdraw and continue to reserve your ship for fighting another day, or just kind of throw yourself in and potentially get it sunk? 'Cause, I mean, these are multi-million-dollar vessels we're
well,
talking about
he
here.
withdrew. Well, that's the thing. That one ship withdrew, but my other ships were still engaged. So having that extra ship there as an extra force multiplier would have been great, and probably would have saved another ship or two.
Fair.
The issue was at that point in time, I was losing the battle. At the point in time that she disengaged, if if you lose an invasion battle, the invasion goes ahead. If you win an invasion battle, the invasion doesn't go ahead. That's determined by your points. So as my thought was, as long as I can sink enough American ships that I don't lose this battle, they can't invade.
Keep forgetting to turn mirror mode on. Definitely a problem.
So that was kind of that thing where it's like, well, I need to sink as many American ships as possible, as quickly as possible, and having a ship run away all cowardly when the
Not
Manitobas
really
was not good.
conducive to that.
Yeah, it did take a while for Appalachian to get there. She did kind of help relieve some of the forces, but it was always already kind of too late for 4 or 5 capital ships.
Mm.
Although part of that was failings of the destroyer screen as well to accompany the battleships.
Wow. Always the little things that go wrong that make the entire operation go
Yep.
south, isn't it?
Yep.
Always in the. Well, as they say, the devil is in the details.
So yeah, that's kind of what happened
Mm.
there. She did arrive. It was a little too late. At that point, the battleship St. Lawrence had already exploded.
Oof.
Um, and the destroyers had not decided to accompany the battleships in the charge.
Cowards.
Yeah, not really. So I couldn't. Basically, I managed to isolate a bunch of American battlecruisers from their escorts, but my battleships kind of isolated themselves because all my destroyers were out of were either not there or out of torpedoes.
Mm.
Like somewhere else, or had run out of torpedoes shooting at a cruiser line earlier
Mm.
in the engagement. So Appalachian did arrive and did do some damage, but wasn't too much.
Wasn't too spectacular.
Yeah. Well, maybe she got a kill. I'd have to check. Um, I'd have to check the results. I have like an image sitting somewhere. Yeah, ship losses in the Battle of Nova Scotia, so we can actually see, you know, Okay, so she would have damaged Colorado.
Well, a ship named Colorado. I
Yeah,
doubt it was something similar to Colorado.
yeah, no, it was bigger than the real life Colorado.
Big.
So yeah, USS Colorado she got, or USS Colorado she helped out with, although um although the majority, the thing which actually sunk USS Colorado was probably the 2 torpedoes from the battleship Prince Edward Island and 1 torpedo from the destroyer Masouche. Um,
Your battleships and your destroyers.
yeah.
All of their
Oh, okay. She did get a kill.
torpedoes.
She did get a magazine detonation on the
Oh,
American battlecruiser Princeton. Um,
oh, I
and
see. Well,
also heavy or partial kill on Oriskany.
hmm
Constellation was down before then. Independence she helped out with. Uh, Ticonderoga she was too late on. Okay, so yeah, she did arrive kind of late. She detonated 1 American battlecruiser. Using center line turret alongside the forward and aft turrets. Yeah, so she did get a detonation in that battle. New Brunswick was just off like escorting carriers and being useless. And actually, there were 2 carriers attached to the main fleet, and they got sunk when they got discovered by enemy battlecruisers because, for whatever reason, their captains decided it would be a good idea to sail in the direction of known enemy radar contacts. I'm gonna say skill issue.
yeah, it'd be like that. Hmm.
Um, so after that battle, there was the Turkey Shoot, which I think Okay, there was another invasion of Nova Scotia, the 4th attempted invasion. That was a pretty mediocre battle. I think that was mostly the Manitobas doing work. Then there was I think it was the 5th attempted, which was, more the Turkey Shoot, where really having the results of America losing half of their battlecruiser fleet trying to or half of their like battle line trying to take Nova Scotia on that one night. Um, that was the battle they really started feeling that when just suddenly, having all my battleships there pushing them constantly and their carriers getting involved in the shooting or in the being shot at, I should say. Um, I basically managed to get a breakout against their forces and just slaughtered them. They lost like 5 battlecruisers that day and like 5 aircraft carriers
Ouch.
as well.
That is rough.
Yep. And I think
The admiral in charge of that attack was probably fired.
yeah. I think in that battle I lost an aircraft carrier due to getting detached and being hit by either aircraft it got hit by aircraft strikes. It might I forget if they were land-based medium bombers or other carrier bombers, and that was the battle which Alberta blew up in.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
yeah, that was I think New Brunswick and Appalachian probably got involved in that because that was the battle where I'm like, you know what? Sail my carrier fleet closer. I don't care. The Americans are dying
I
in
wish
droves. They're running away. Um,
I
if
wish to hit them with my sword.
yeah, I can have my carrier fleet closer if it means that their heavy escorts, are getting involved in the battle. Because having the risk of having the carriers closer in this case is massively offset by the reward of having the you know,
American battle cruisers sunk.
yeah,
Or
the escorting, New Brunswick and Iceland closer.
right, right.
Um, and then the later stages of the war were largely fought with the Manitobas. I think, one or two of the New Brunswicks did get involved in some battles here and there, but it was mostly the Manitobas doing the work. With New Brunswick the Brunswick's kind of confined to carrier escort, and then when Iceland got sunk, um, then it was only both New Brunswicks on carrier escort. They had the heaviest anti-aircraft battery.
Hmm.
And, then the Manitobas were the main battle line, plus the one surviving older battleship at that point, British Columbia. Who was probably...
Hey.
British Columbia was probably only still around because in the Third Battle of Nova Scotia, she took 2 torpedoes early on and retired to port. That was the correct decision. That one I will get behind. That was the right thing being done. That was like actually following the orders I set out. I wanted that once that ship had taken 2 torpedoes, seeing the damage she had, and I think she only had TPS 3. I wanted her to get to port. When Appalachian took the rudder, or not Appalachian, when one of the Manitobas took the rudder hit, I forget if it won. I did not want that ship going back to port, and it did. Although it might have like rejoined with the formation later, but I'm trying to remember formation later because there's like a brief second gun battle during that, and then that gun battle got called off when the enemy found my range more quickly than I found theirs, and my ships were already damaged, and the U.S. could just keep throwing fresh ships at the problem.
In traditional U.S. fashion, of course.
Yeah.
What means this?
I mean, Third Nova Scotia, despite the fact that I lost 3 battleships and 2 aircraft carriers and oh god, how many? What was it?
Too many. Just too
I
many.
lost 3 dreadnoughts, 2 aircraft carriers, 2 heavy cruisers, and then some destroyers and corvettes. But U.S. lost 1 battleship, 7 battle cruisers, 3 heavy cruisers, and 2 destroyers, and
Decisive Canadian victory.
Yeah, and 8 transports. So even though they did get the troops ashore, which got them a big bonus in victory points,
they failed to.
The amount of tonnage I sank offset that. I think the victory points wound up being like I got 55,000, they got 44,000.
The American troops landing in Newfoundland.
Yeah. So I guess the lore that I'm gonna go with when all this is written is America did successfully offload their troops, but given the heavy losses that they suffered, they were unable to keep the island supplied.
Yeah.
I think that is...
I think I'm going to start switching to 3 slopes now, because I think we've got enough of a thing going here.
I guess that's the brief abridged history of this class. After the war, they were modernized again. Which actually, the war wound up in a Canadian defeat, fortunately. Despite, despite, how much slaughtering Canadian Navy did of the Americans in that war, it turns out that submarine warfare kind of offset all that.
Yeah.
It undid all that work, just a few months. America spammed submarines. Germany was already spamming submarines, and yeah, that's how that ended.
Perhaps subs were the real meta the entire time.
Exactly. I discovered why the submarine meta is a thing.
Yeah.
But it was kind of terrifying. It's kind of terrifying to see Unrest jump from like 6 to 9.
I can imagine.
And not pleasant. That's not a pleasant feeling. Guess I'm just gonna like stretch this block out for position. Then I'll stretch that one out too. So do remember when you are building this, a good portion of the way I built. Okay, with the bulbous bow thing, I know you have it at the front. I think at the point you're at, you should just kind of merge it into the rest of the ship. About now.
Mm.
Move it a
That
little far
was.
back. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
was thinking about that because I wasn't really happy with how
And the
it was
and
kind
the
of
other
looking.
thing
So I think
is,
might just merge it here
yeah,
actually.
I might wind up completely changing the bottom layer just to merge slightly better.
Hey,
Um,
it's your ship, man. Do what you want with it. I'm just here for moral support. Well, mostly at least.
this gets stretched around. I guess that technically becomes an 8-meter block. That would be 8 meter. That would become 8 meters probably. I gotta seal all this up, and I don't do 8-meter stuff, but for it, I'm doing it here. Okay, yeah, that. Once this all gets smoothed out, this is gonna look really good.
Look. Ooh. Very nice. Hmm. I think let's stop it like right here. I don't like how far that extends now. So we're just gonna alter this. I've already altered the deal. Pray I do not alter it further.
Here, 3-meter here. Probably actually just offset up here. Then eventually the propellers are gonna have to be stuck through here, and we'll probably have to do that today. So yeah. Um, so then we can do another. What is it? Meter, 1 meter, and then we got to do a 3-meter. I would no, it's just another 3-meter offset, right? No, not quite. It's 3-meter. Then I think after that we got to do your offset. Although this would work out. Well, I might not be able. Want to do. I really hate how in multiplayer sessions it does do the day-night cycle. That's really annoying.
Yeah, it's quite annoying, yeah.
So you see that I have a very specific way of building now, where I actually wind up filling in a good portion of stuff with decos. Although the bow is usually a little easier, so than the stern. Stern is very complicated. No, I am liking how the stern's looking so far, which is good. So, good to have a portion of the ship you like rather than one you don't like.
Hmm.
Okay.
Do something like this instead.
Then if I do a stay there, but I'll keel different. This is I still got to do this. No, right? Yeah. Uh, wrong way around. Okay, now everything's kind of starting to merge together finally.
A little bit. Yeah.
Back here.
I'm a little bit behind on the ballots because I've been redoing it 3 times.
I have a lot of practice with building ship hulls, so
Yeah.
no.
And for some reason, it's not the same on both sides now. Because why would it be?
Got to apply mirror again.
Possibly.
Now that um, what I have to do is I have to start making this more rounded. That would be uh 1 meter, 2 meter.
Alright, and it's fixed.
Excellent.
Transition's still a little scuffed, but we're working on it. It's going. And now for here, I think we start maybe going.
Okay, now this is where things get a little bit more complicated, to say the least. Probably like a 2 meter there. Oh, I'm gonna want. this doesn't work. What I gotta do is I gotta go this. I think there is a yeah, okay. See, her top-down profile's pretty good.
It's going. Just have to really widen it up now to make it fit. But it's definitely going for sure.
Yeah, Brunswick is going to be a chunky girl.
Oh yes, very hefty.
Yeah.
Thick even.
Yeah. Oh man, I have. Wait, that's a really old model of Canada you have there. That's a really old model of Actually, that's Manitoba. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a really old Manitoba. That's like without
Yeah.
all the decorations
Yeah,
and
it's
without
the
the updates.
it's one of the older versions you sent me, so I
Yeah.
could just kind of see how you built your ships.
Yeah, because I have
A
the
relic of a prior age, if you
yep,
will.
I have the newer versions on the workshop. So
Is that a shameless plug?
yes, it is.
I'll probably check it out after the stream.
And then I'm going to have another update happen at some point.
Hmm.
I want that there. Wait, no. Alright, because I'm in the 6-meter section. That's why it's so difficult to do anything here. Probably make these like 3 long rather than 4. Solve my problems.
Hmm.
I'm gonna delete through there. Need a lot of blocks here. I gotta rebuild this section. So I will say, once I'm done with the stern, I'm probably gonna like quickly grab a drink of water or something.
Hey, you do you, man. I'm just chugging along.
Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna start using 3-meter idea rather than a 4-meter idea here. Every 3 pieces I move back, I do the shift rather than every 4. Yeah, because that'll allow me to get 2 shifts in. Rather than just 1. Although, I guess that does mean then I'll have to go back to 4 meters every time I do. Should make it just a little. So I guess I'm now doing a very, very weird form of slope staggering. But it's all underwater, so hopefully nobody will care.
I think now we're at the point where we can go back to 4 meters, just kind of start vibing. Or do I continue? Indeed, that is the question.
Yeah, I think you can go to 4 meters for a little bit. And then eventually you will want to start skipping, add an extra
Yeah.
straight 2, add an extra straight 4 or something.
Yeah.
It's getting 6 long. So.
I'm kind of surprised. It doesn't look half bad at the moment, at least.
Use the bathroom, please.
Actually, no, I should just do a shift here. I can do it. Offset. There. That's what I should do. This would be a... Actually, no, I'll do the offsets later. I'll offset at the end. That does down there. I'm on. Alright, now I can go back to 4 meters. Now we're at the 8 section. Okay. So I need to do a 4 meter here. Oh, I thought I was gonna these over 1 block, and then we should be away with it. Now I can do a offset down. Offset down. There. This is probably one of the most complicated sterns I've made so far. But I mean, it is applying techniques I've learned since a lot of these other ones built. On the, since all my other sterns were built. Oh, great. Nighttime again. Everything briefly becomes possible to see. I'm safer right now. That fill all this in. I kind of have an idea of what everything like. Okay. I think we are going. Actually, I might have screwed this up. And might have had an additional block I could have used but didn't. Or maybe that was the one which I kind of intentionally skipped. I think it might have been the one I intentionally skipped. Okay, so then this would be a 2-meter. That would be a 2-meter offset down. That would be another 2-meter offset down. And then we gotta change this 1 meter. Oh, I see where I screwed up. Okay, so I'm not supposed to have that there. Yeah, let's work all of that. So then an offset. Or one another offset there. Now we're still aligned. This is still good. I've still got this down. Once I apply the decorations to this, this will probably be like the smoothest stern I've created.
Good man.
Right. So then this is this is that style, and then a little more. Just gotta be. Okay then, that's that section done. Now it's just on the bottom of this, and thankfully the bottom is the part I figured out how to do most easily. Keel. The keel, I should say. That I need a 3 meter. And I'm just gonna I feel like this is gonna be an extremely weird shaped aft end if you're like paying close attention to it, but I don't know. I feel like there's some parts about this I've kind of nailed, and some parts which questionable. Eh, it'll look good. Everything's done. Okay. Built. And look at that, stern shaping's done. I'm gonna go get a glass of water. I will be right back. Yes. And Waffle, you'll have to entertain them. Alright, I'm back. Have you entertained them?
Well, admittedly, I haven't really been doing much. I've just been quietly building.
Okay. Um. Okay, I kind of see how it's working. I see you're encountering some slight-ish blocks. Why are those blocks pink?
Which blocks?
The ones on the sides right now?
Um, hmm. Those got removed. I'm not sure why they're popping up on your screen there.
Oh, that's odd.
Yep. Well,
Uh,
yeah. It's
Perhaps
really not much of
multiplayer.
a problem. I'm just kind of.
Trying. Well, you're trying to figure out how to incorporate it with the
Mhm.
side I have on here.
And I have an idea, and I'm gonna try it. Hopefully, it'll look good.
Actually, I think FlimDep's multiplayer is
Oop,
having issues, so I'm gonna save, and I think it's time that we restart the session.
fair enough.
Um,
She's a very pretty aerial view, I must say.
okay, so I'll return to lobby. I'm
Oof.
certain to have issues. I'll just start the game again. If this doesn't fix it, I would have to, restart the server. I don't
Right on.
think we'll have to reboot from the depths though.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there she is.
Glorious.
What that fix did not
Peak
take long.
Canadian engineering. Yeah. I have an idea of how it could connect, so just gonna be trying that out.
Okay, I'm gonna start it. Right. Why do we have staggered 3-meter hulls? Why did you stagger 3 meters? Wouldn't it be better to just
Rough.
stagger 4 meters?
Don't really have an answer. I'm just kind of going.
I'll probably have to go in and fix that.
Mm. Mm.
Guess it's not too difficult of a fix.
Turn on mirror mode again. Yeah.
So if it's 3-meter and weird amount offset, just change it to
So then here is when we can actually do that. Okay. Okay.
because this will still work and it'll still staggered.
As long as you're happy with it.
I like this. Might actually be a legitimate case for what you did.
You know, sometimes there's a method to the madness. Sometimes. Not every time.
Yeah, I'm gonna actually do a 3 meter to 4 meter transition rate.
We need a, what is it called? Inverted 4.
I'm gonna do that here.
Alloy invert.
Alright, so the hull shape is still basically the same, it's just, you know, gonna be slightly smoother now.
Yep. Thankfully, I can just now that I've already done this, I can just do that.
Most?
What is this here? Shouldn't be.
Need to move that, like, corner 1 block forward.
Yep.
Then you have another problem at this layer.
Yeah.
But you have already figured out that little, decoration trick I do, so.
Yep.
I assume you looked at Manitoba for that.
That I did.
Yeah. I've not done that to the stern yet, but eventually I will.
Yep.
Okay, so that would be there. So you probably don't need that back one here. This specific, yeah, you don't need that right there.
It's all right.
I think that's correct in terms of decos. Yeah, I'm pretty certain that's correct. Streaming going for. Now curious. We're only 149 and we're almost done with the underwater hull.
It could do a little more deco along the hull just to make it smoother, but
Yeah.
it's probably fine as is, to be honest with you.
That will be done. That will be done before this is over.
Yeah.
Either this stream or next one. Hopefully this one.
Looking good.
Yep. Now it's just, you know, giant fill right here.
Yeah.
And some of this will eventually get replaced with
Yeah.
lead, so it
Mhm.
floats better.
Yeah. I'll handle the little holes here. Oh, nope, already got them.
Okay. Oh yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah, you can get them. All right. So that is the underwater hull of Manitoba done.
New Brunswick.
New Brunswick. Sorry. Hold on. Why is something? Why is this uneven?
It's because the hang on. Yeah, I got this. This.
Got to mirror.
Yeah, I keep doing that. And then I also, well, also it's just a
Quickly see if there's something I can do to make this. I think there is something I can do to make this bow look a slight bit more bulbous. I'll do that real quickly.
all right. Fantastic. That's done. It's looking smooth.
Yep. And it'll look even smoother when all the decos are added.
Yep. Yeah. Admittedly, I was trying to go as quick as I can, but and you can really kind of tell because probably could have done a few pieces better. But
And I still went quicker than you.
yeah, I'm a very slow builder. I can't really help it.
I mean, I've had practice at this, so
Yeah.
you know, back when I was, you know, starting with these, I was slow.
I'm just kind of slow in general, probably because I like flipping between styles from time to time instead of sticking to one and getting good at it like some kind of insane person.
So I think I made the ball a little, or the bulbous bow a little bit, slightly more bulbous.
Yeah.
Just try to get the
Yep.
shape a little bit more right.
Yeah.
Um,
It looks good.
so now I
To be
got the
honest, the whole hull looks pretty good.
yeah. So
Well,
now
thus far.
yeah, so now I got the above water portion to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess she is gonna get a little longer. So we're probably gonna be looking at about like 270, 271, 272 long. How much freeboard do my battleships have? Okay, so she is gonna be flush deck.
Okay.
Um,
No scope slope.
well, okay, she'll have a slope at the front, but there's no like change in deck level. I think I usually have like, okay, you know what? I'm spawning in Manitoba again, but this time I'm spawning in, you know, updated Manitoba.
Not the scuffed boomer version that
Yeah,
I have.
current updated Manitoba. Although she still needs more updates, but
Upgrades, people, upgrades.
yeah, like stuff. Okay, so how much freeboard does Manitoba have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Okay, she has 6 at the stern, and then if we're ignoring the slope, 8 at the bow. I think.
Interesting.
Okay. Here's my thought. 7. We go 7 here, and then the slope adds a little more.
All right. 1, 2,
Um,
3, 4,
and also
5.
little issues with the coloring stuff that will get fixed as time goes on. I'll just have you know.
I'm not worried about it. I'm just grilling.
Okay. That would more block on top of it. Do know that forward stuff is gonna start sloping kind of forward, so you're gonna want to get
Yeah,
those
I
offsets
know.
in.
I'm aware. I'm just kind of putting it there, just so to get a better visual of where the deck is going to end up.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing what I was about to do. I am instead. Yes. Fix all of that later, or smooth it all out later, I should say. Piece actually. That piece. Okay, her stern might wind up being a little funky. Here, section is very flat, and this is where curve. And there's some. Okay. Above water stern section's done.
Mm. Ah.
Look at New Brunswick, even compared to like Manitoba. Brunswick's kind of massive.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah.
I'm gonna start here at the bow. So okay, so I'm gonna say 2-meter offset up top, which means that we need to transition this to a 4-meter block by the bottom. So we have to do a 2-meter, 3-meter, and a 3-meter to 4-meter at some point, as well as another offset.
Hmm.
I say that there. And then this is something where triangle generators actually really come in handy. Something like this. And then she will get that slope slightly later on. Normally.
Hmm.
Guess I kinda have to do that so that we don't have any weird bits.
Hmm.
But the cope slope is gonna have to compensate for this heavily. Unless, you know, I should be doing is good. I don't know, the cope slope will compensate for it, because the cope slope will also have the kind of extension section to it. Is that how it worked with Manitoba, or with Manitoba did I just... Oh no, I didn't with Manitoba. Okay, so about halfway up I'll have to do stuff. So what that will entail invert.
Yeah. At this rate, I might have to rebuild Embra with some of the stuff I've learned working on New Brunswick,
Oh
which
no,
I'm sure Dram would appreciate. Ooh, what's wrong?
I would like never recommend trying to go in and massively rebuild a hull. Once you have a hull,
Well,
you have a hull.
well, yes, that's true, and that's reasonable. I just kind of do it sometimes.
Yeah, and then be on the bow. These need to be offsets. Offsets are the... I'll be honest, offsets are like the best pieces in the game.
Yeah, when they were originally added, I was interested but skeptical. Blech, skeptical because I wasn't particularly good at the game yet. However, I can certainly appreciate them now as I've progressed. They really do look pretty. I want to face New Brunswick off against Embro once I finish her, just to
Just to see.
just to see. You know, might make a cool cinematic as well. Be fun.
No. I think we're gonna have to merge this even further back than.
Yeah.
Although,
I mean,
actually, no. I think you're. Actually, I think this is a fair spot to do.
yeah. And I'm aware that the people listening have no idea what Ember is.
Yeah,
I
the
realize
current
that.
3 people listening.
Yeah.
Sorry if I keep accidentally deleting blocks immediately once you place them. I'm not trying to do that. It's just accidentally
It's all right.
happening.
I'm just grilling. I mean, look at that. That's a hull. That's the meat. I'll get the offsets here. Oh, whoop. You know, my mouse has this weird habit of double tapping when I do not want it to double tap.
Oh, I know that feeling. I've had my mouse do stuff like that.
Yeah. It's pretty annoying. Actually, no. So we're merging it back there then?
Yeah, I think full
Alright.
well, just do offsets at this point. So don't do that full section back there. I think just want offsets for this part. But the thing I'm gonna say is, even though if you're stacking like 4 offsets, eventually you're only gonna want like 2 offsets per section and then 1 offset per section. And I think right back here is gonna be like more that 1 offset per section
Moment.
Okay, okay, I meant that badly. So when I say this, kind of like stagger it a little bit more like this.
Oh.
So, we could do that, and then this. Yeah, I guess that's fair. That looks good.
Oop. Written without secondaries. What a terrible what a horrible idea.
Oh, you saw that?
Yeah. Sounds like
campaigns.
misery.
That campaign series has been fun. I need to do it again.
Nope.
I'm just being a little bit more efficient here.
Right.
Alright, so there we go. We actually have like the main haul done. We are
Gorgeous.
2
Even
hours
without
into,
further.
we're a little over 2 hours into the stream, and we have a fast battleship haul.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. Even without decos, this is beautiful. Let's lower into the water. Me knowing full well that it's just
alloy.
gonna float.
Yeah, it's alloy. It's just gonna sit on the water.
Yeah, but still, it's the thought that counts.
Yeah. Okay, so things we need to do right now. Right now, the important things are smooth out the hull and build the internals. Starting with the lower deck internals. I guess the other important thing would be propellers in the stern. Propellers and rudder. How many rudders do you think she'd have?
Well, so
she's big.
She's 65,000 tons about, right?
Yeah. How many rudders did Lion have? 1. How many
I believe
1.
1 sounds good.
I think she had 1. She would have 1 rudder. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. That's fair. I was actually because of her weight, I was gonna look at what Yami had, but fine. But if you want to do
what about
the
an Iowa
smoothing, I can
class?
start. I think Iowas have 2. I'll have to look.
I think an Iowa would be most comparable.
Okay, Iowa has 2 rudders and 4 screws.
Okay. I definitely know we're going 4 screws. Maybe we should... I think... I mean, I kind of built her lower hull form with the intention of only 1 rudder in mind, and I mean, one of them does get their rudder jammed, so I think they might only have 1 rudder. Actually, no, it's Manitoba that gets a rudder jammed, so...
Lore accurate.
Lore accurate Manitoba, yeah. Not New Brunswick, because the New Brunswicks aren't in combat quite as much. Man, I'm really liking looking at the top-down profile of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did a fair job with the hull. At least the bow.
Yeah.
Considering.
That looks pretty good.
Lore accurate, TM. So if you want to start smoothing out, I can start working on the internals. Just
Alright, let me give you the engine prefab.
yeah, right, fair enough.
And
Yeah.
I'll also put a turret in her.
So do you particularly care? Like, do you want it to be more the internals? I mean, more realistic or more just kind of
Okay.
from the depth sea?
So internal wise,
Ooh,
I would say I
these are
want
some interesting engines.
what they're just like functional.
Yeah.
And you know, I kind of
I'm
prioritize having
I'm gonna leave
smoke.
her plenty of room just to that way in case
Yeah,
you know
just
you want to change the engines.
Just
I'm just gonna
no, the engines are fine. Just prefab the engines and put more of them down. Probably delete the ones which are currently there and just change
Yep.
which section they're in. What I would say is I want her functional parts to be in the right locations. So engines in the right locations.
New Brunswick.
She would need torpedo defense. She need
We can
fuel.
include that.
Yeah, and New Brunswick would have very good torpedo defense. So you're probably talking about like. What does Manitoba have?
We can. Don't worry. We can. We'll build a from the depths certified torpedo defense system. It'll be good. It'll be all right. Also, double or triple bottom.
I guess your choice on that.
I'm just gonna because I tend to lean more towards survivability with most of my ships. I wonder why I build castle ships for a living. So I'll just go for a double bottom and it'll be fine. TM.
Yeah.
Of course, you know I'd probably go metal, but let's get a little funky.
Yeah, I'm just quickly and TDS wise, I think
maybe going for metal here would be the better play though.
You could go alloy and then I can just put more lead on the bottom at some point.
Well, I was just thinking purely protection wise because I'm aware that you build your ships more for looks than performance, but you know.
I think going alloy there would be better so that we can save more weight for the armor belt.
Yeah.
The torpedo defense though, you could with the torpedo defense you could either make that metal or you could make that like multi-layered alloy.
To be honest, I'm
like
probably
multiple sections of alloy.
Yeah.
I think that is what Manitoba has. Actually, how do I do the cutaway again? If I go here.
To be honest, torpedo defense in front of depths is a bit complicated, since obviously torpedoes in front of depths are extremely deadly. However, generally speaking, what you see a lot of is people just making the armor belt all the way down. So if torpedoes hit there, it just hits the belt, and nobody really cares. It is one way to do it for sure. It's a bit of a waste of weight, but it is what it is.
How to, I know there's a way to get cutaway views of ships, and I'm trying to remember how to do that. Actually, it's probably like in e-mapping somewhere. Um, build view. That's it. Shift. Oh no, that's that thing.
Oh, whoops.
Do it.
So let's double bottom. Now let's do some torpedo defenses.
God damn,
Hmm.
I am not remembering how to do this.
So to begin with, let's instead of doing that, why don't I do some of these? Subdivision is good. Are you alright with me including metal in subdivision?
I would say internal subdivision should be alloy unless it's like
Okay.
torpedo defense related.
Alright.
Um, that being said, for the armor belt, I would not be surprised if we're gonna get to use heavy armor, and
Yeah.
for
Heavy
the
armor for
slope deck,
sure is
probably is
a
like
good
maybe
idea.
the slope deck will probably be like 2 layers of metal, and the armor belt heavy armor.
Yeah.
Actually, what does Manitoba have? Manitoba has just heavy armor. Belt.
Why is part of the hull's back here?
How do I do the cutaway view? I'm like legitimately forgetting. From the depths. Is it cutaway? Is that the term? What's the N
1,
key?
2.
Why? Oh god, why is there something called extremely lewd cutaway, not safe for work, r/ from the depths Reddit? Okay, yeah, they cut away half the ship. They did not have to phrase it like that.
I mean, when you
They did not need to phrase it like that at all. No.
phrasing is very important.
There
1,
were a
2,
million
3,
other ways they
4,
could have
5,
phrased it.
6. That is true, but only one of them would have been funny, or at least funny in air quotes.
Oh, is it not showing?
Hmm.
Oh, there we go. So now, um, on the stream right now, there should be a view of what Canada's Manitoba's cross section look like. Sorry,
Hmm.
Canada's one of the Manitoba class battleships. So I'll say that sometimes
Mhm.
too.
Hmm.
So you can kind of see how her stuff works out. Although she was built with
Right.
steam boilers, because
Yeah. More realism. Hmm. Hmm.
so
So interesting. I was actually going to go for something like 6 meters of torpedo defense, but it seems to me like you have at most like 4.
well, I think it's
Although that
more.
is kind of
It is a little more
mm,
because you get this
okay,
extra layer,
fair.
other than around the machinery.
Yeah,
Like right here,
fair,
you get this and you get
fair,
this,
fair.
and then it is
That's a good point then. Hmm. Where do you want to go?
And imagine doing a cutaway of this boat when it's done. And
Hmm. Hmm.
I just need to do that quickly to show you. And if you
Right.
want to, you just go to Manitoba, hit the N key, and do it
Yep.
yourself again.
I am gonna do that because I want to be semi-consistent with.
Alright, so now it is hull smoothing time. Some of this is going to need triangles, some of this will not need triangles.
How do we view cut?
This part here, triangles.
Where is cut away view?
Press B and hit the N key.
It's different on my machine. Seems fine. It's end.
I just said end. Did you not hear me say end multiple times?
To be honest, I heard you say N.
Oh. Okay, what is that decoration? That decoration should not be doing anything there. It has no business in being there. There we go. That portion's smoothed out. It won't be like perfectly smoothed out, but it'll be pretty smoothed out.
That is like around the machinery. That is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meters torpedo defense. Okay, interesting. And Manitoba, you can go back to not being cut in half. So assuming then that the machinery is around here, which is a reasonable thing. So
There, everyone.
the machinery, depending on where you want the funnels, you may have to move the machinery around a bit.
Or just reroute the funnels slightly.
True. So the thing
But I
about
mean,
that is, there's only so much routing with funnels you can do before it starts to affect their efficiency.
yeah.
So obviously, in an ideal world, we would have it directly below. However, this is not always an ideal world.
Yeah. Close enough, we'll be fine. So I would say look at the image I sent in response to that. You know, the original image of the ship. Look at that and
Yep. Indeed. Subdivision. It keeps ships afloat. Very important. Never leave home without your subdivision, kids.
yeah, just you know, take your entire subdivision with you.
Yes. Take all of it.
I'm just thinking of the other term of subdivision now. Just, you know, entire neighborhood. Take it everywhere.
Take the entire neighborhood, everywhere you go.
Yes.
With Grubhub. Alright.
Okay. Alright, so you can already see the start of the smoothing on the bow.
Indeed.
Not perfect, but it is going to look better.
It's going. Very nice and subdivided. Whilst a house divided on top of itself cannot stand, a ship divided amongst itself will remain afloat after taking significant damage.
Yep. Although you are probably going to want to compartmentalize portions of this more. Also,
Yep.
make sure you pay attention to where the ammo is going to go.
Indeed. I'm just kind of doing the bulk pieces. So.
Alright, so what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to hold off on smoothing out the stern until the propellers and rudders are in. I'm going to save the vehicle. So this is a... I'm just going to get all the slope transition.
Yes, that's the basis of our little subdivision here on New Brunswick. It's a working model. That is to say, a prototype. Of course, we won't tell the Navy that, otherwise they'll slash our funding again.
Not scale as I have the wrong piece and I have it.
Okay.
There we go.
So do you have an idea of where you'd like the turrets to be? Just so I can kind of alter the subdivision around them? Ooh.
Hold on. Not exactly at the moment. I mean, if you look at the screenshot I sent
can kind
earlier.
of guesstimate.
Yeah.
Just kind of up there, kind of in this bit, which, I mean, also, how large are you thinking the barbettes are going to be?
Well, I'll need to put down a gun to show you that, and I
Fair.
can do that in just a moment here once I get this
Blended stuff.
mission block in. Especially, while it's briefly nighttime. Probably best to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, guns are going to be a modified version of the 16-inch times 3s from St. Lawrence.
Beat.
So, there's St. Lawrence's turret, just
Okay.
right there.
Okay. Ooh, interesting. Okay.
I think actually Graf helped a little bit on that turret. Or no, Graf helped on what was it? British Columbia's turret, and then that
Oh.
became
Interesting.
St. Lawrence's turret, and then this will basically be St. Lawrence's turret with larger guns.
Lore.
Yeah.
Let's get the old whatchamacallit.
Maybe with Carly floats on it. I don't know. I do love though how like when you play a Rule the Waves game, it just kind of provides lore. That's
Deep
pretty
lore.
great.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, right? Rule of the Waves was basically a simulation.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds really dumb, but really interesting.
Huh?
Looking at the barbette, looks like a 9x9 barbette. That is tiny. Jesus. Kind of feels like we should be sticking bigger guns on this thing.
And they're 16 inches, so
Fair. Well, why not go big? Just kidding. I mean, conveniently though, that already kind of fits within the subdivisioning we have, which is very nice and kind, and I appreciate it for certain. So, if this were going to go.
okay, there we go. I think the forward half of the ship is now just entirely smooth. Now we get to the aft half.
Ooh, lovely stuff. Hmm. Hmm.
Where I occasionally had to blocks.
Pickle. One. We move this back, kind of into the middle of this compartment here. That. Right on back here. So this is just kind of me spitballing ideas of where all the barbettes and the turrets are going to go. Just based on the very loose of what you've given me. They'll almost certainly get moved, but you know
Yeah.
what? It's a start,
I
right?
think that aft one is gonna have to be moved backwards. I think actually I think
Closer towards the middle.
no, further towards the
Ooh.
ends. Actually, I think all 3 turrets need to be moved further towards the ends of the ship. Place them very much in the middle.
Well, we can do that. Nope.
Sorry, I have been placing echoes down.
Fine. So let's put it in this compartment then. I think that'll work for the this turret. All right. How about the further back one?
Let me check once
The-
I'm done with this. Now I will be done with that. I still think it could go slightly further back since we don't have any like float planes on the turn. I don't know, maybe like 2 blocks further back, I think.
uh,
And then on the bow, I would take those 2 barbettes and have that forward barbette overhanging that one turret I put down, maybe like half of it. Or
Alright.
the backside of it.
Got it.
Probably approximately where, because we need a lot of room for the superstructure.
Right. Hmm. Now, unfortunately, after I finish doing that, I am going to have to go. However, I still think we got a splendid amount of work done.
Yep. I will right now actually put in the propellers.
Okay, so how about that? Is that better?
Yeah, I think so. I
Alright,
will
smash it
go in and put the propellers in right now.
down here. Just to make sure it doesn't do
Actually, how
anything
big are the
funky.
propellers I put in Manitoba? Being 5 meters. Okay, as I thought. Probably use.
All right, well, looks good. I will probably change around the subdivisioning just a little bit to accommodate the turret positions. But unfortunately, I am going to have to go now. I had a blast playing with you, Sporth. Thanks for letting me come on and
No problem.
help
Thanks for
you
being
build
here.
New Brunswick.
Yeah, and I'll continue our more next time.
Yep. Adios.
Adios. And I think that is where I'm gonna call the stream here. So thank you everyone who watched. We have the start of a haul. Start of the haul, start of the internals, and the propellers put down now. We'll probably make very good progress, hopefully tomorrow as well. I can convince him more of this tomorrow. And yeah, Brunswick, we're just gonna try to hopefully churn her out over time. If you happen to like this, links to my Discord, Twitch, and Twitter are down below. You can join my Discord. Hang out, notifications on these. I guess Twitch is kind of vestigial at this point, and Twitter exists. So I don't know. Discord's the only one of those which matters. Yeah, we'll keep doing this more and more. Keep doing more streams. This one's about 2.5 hours, so hopefully next one, hopefully we can get it to be a little longer. Yeah. Guess that's all I have to say. Where is it? Right up here. Bye. Yeah, that works. Bye, everyone.